Get downloading the One Football app. It is free. The link is in the description for that. All the latest news, your transfers, your gossip, stats with Newcastle United. Every football fan needs it.
Right, hi everybody. So we have Freddie. How are you doing?
Not too bad, mate. I'm feeling good. Finally, good to be a Saints fan after so much mediocrity last 2 years.
Yeah, Freddie was on our channel earlier on when Johnny was down St Mary's, and it was a boring 0-0 draw, wasn't it? It wasn't great, and I can remember that it was after about 9 or 10 games, we were second bottom. You know, you actually said on the fan cam with Johnny's that, you know, the firepower, you know, there's three worst teams in Newcastle, but that's only because well, Newcastle and Southampton, there's three worst teams, and you actually said those three teams, Cardiff, and he said Fulham, and he said Huddersfield, and look where we are now. Are you more happier that Mark Hughes was sacked and Ralph Hussentatl came in? I can't pronounce his name, apologies.
I'm amazed, actually, you've actually kept that note, the three teams that I predicted. So
Memory.
Good for you. I didn't remember it, but since Ralph Hasenhüttl has arrived, it's been a revolution. Nothing short of that, to be honest. He's really unlocked the potential, and that's a really key word that we bound around the stands all the time. That Southampton's got potential, but seriously, we've seen it over the last sort of 4 or 5 months now. Nathan Redmond really striking fire. James Ward-Prowse adding a ruthless edge to his game, something that he missed under previous managers. Both of them have really locked down that centre, all their positions in the team, and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg also, retaining the captaincy, playing with his heart on his sleeve, crunching into tackles. But the most important thing is that the team is now playing together, playing for the manager, and the fans are responding to it, and it's almost sort of two different universes under the two regimes. Mark Hughes seems like he lost the players, nobody was on side, but everybody's now on Ralph's side.
Well, what's he done? Yes, you might have that manager bounce, but there's always some managers who, yes, you might win 3 or 4, then it's back to where you were. What's he done to change the whole mood in the training ground, fans, players? What's he done?
First thing he did was buy everybody a beer on the first weekend in his first home game. So that was something that the last 3 managers hadn't done, perhaps even 4 or 5. I can't remember the last time actually our manager bought us a beer or a drink, So that was a perfect way to start, got us all on the side. But it's the progressive nature of our football at the moment. We're really seeing a return to our sort of famed Southampton way philosophy. And, his philosophy is a high press, high intensity game. And, we haven't seen that under Mark Hughes, Pellegrino, Puel as well. Sort of they're playing side to side, conservative, afraid to lose type sort of managers. But Ralph has really played without fear, and he's really passed that through to the players. He's worked extra hard on the training field, double sessions, since when he first sort of came into the team. So, they're responding to that. And I think also he's also had individual training regimes, training objectives, if you like, to individual players. So like I just said, Ward-Prowse, before he came in, you wouldn't necessarily, relate Ward-Prowse to a ruthless sort of player. But, he's also unlocked that potential for Ward-Prowse to get stuck into tackles. He's also scoring worldies every other week. Free kicks against Man United, Tottenham Hotspur, and amongst others. So that's another thing that added to his, a cap to his feather, if you like. So, and most important thing is that we've seen a return to the philosophy, the high press, and we're enjoying football again. It's the start of the season under Mark Hughes. It's great, yeah, another game of football. How much we're going to lose by now? But he's lifted the club from top to bottom.
Yeah, well, we're seeing in your fan cam. Let's cut your fan cam.
15 goals between them as a push. I think we're over reliant on, once again, a striker. We've switched our reliance from Charlie Austin from last season to Danny Ings this season. Yeah. Both of them have their injury woes, their injury concerns, but I don't know, mate. It's sad for Saints to see how far we've fallen. Years gone by, history suggests that we should have 3 points against Newcastle. But
got a very good record against us.
Exactly. And I tell you what, Newcastle were there for the taking today. Bottom of the table, no wins. 2 points on the table. We should have taken 3 points today, and the fans are understandably starting to question the manager.
Right, so we're just seeing you there, quite depressive outside of St Mary's, but you've been hovering in that bottom 3 for quite a while, and now you've won 4 out of the last 6, which effectively means you're safe, aren't you, surely?
Yeah, we're confident we're going to be safe. Like I said, barring a miracle, and I don't think we believe that Cardiff can do it. Brighton at the moment are free falling too. So as they're free falling, we're growing with confidence, picking up points against teams that wouldn't necessarily expect it against you. Huge wins against Tottenham. At the weekend, Wolves wasn't always a given. It's really tough teams coming down at St Mary's, and that our home form has actually played a part in that. But similarly, what you said on our channel, we've seen less pressure on the back of the players when we play away from home. So I think the players respond to that. I suppose at times this season we've seen a bit of pressure, moans and groans around the stands. Oh, come on, Saints, put the ball in the back of net. But, we've seen a completely different turnaround, if you like. Everybody's responding. So I think we're almost there. I think a point at the weekend would see us safe, I think Newcastle will have a game plan. I think we'll be looking to expose the space on the edge of the pitch, and I think the players like Josh Sims and Nathan Redmond will be looking to exploit that space, and I suppose that is the objective for the weekend.
Well, you've nicely touched upon. Tell us how you're going to set up formation-wise and tactically.
So, we actually saw the introduction of his 4-2-2-2 formation at Brighton a couple of weeks ago, and obviously we win that game. But that's the formation that he had so much success with in RB Leipzig. So I suppose that is going to be a progressive approach in the future. We haven't seen too much of it, but we've seen more of a 3-4-2-1 recently. And that's how he lined up against Wolves at the weekend, with Danny Ings as the pivot, number 9, with Josh Sims and Nathan Redmond playing out wide. And actually, you can almost say that Danny Ings was playing almost a false 9. He dropped deep quite a lot. At the weekend, he actually linked up the play quite often. And if you watch back the highlights, he had so many exquisite through balls that would, made him look a little bit like sort of Pirlo to a degree. And it was unlucky Josh Sims not to put away his chances. But Nathan Redmond got 2. One assist off 2 minutes from Josh Sims, straight across the gets on the near post and smashed it in the back of the net. And it was an exquisite through ball from Danny Ings. So I think that's going to be the approach. Like I said, use the space from the Nathan Redmond, Josh Sims, but we've also seen now superstar striker Shane Long getting on the score sheet again. It's never been done. He's never scored 3 in a row. So my God, I think we'll be turning upside down. We're falling out the stands if Shane Long gets a 3rd in a row at the weekend.
Our 5-a-side team name's called All Shane Long, so there you go, and he's doing the business right. Are you hoping to take advantage of this myth that goes around that we could be on our holidays, so to speak? Yes, a record of St James's Park isn't great, so are you hoping to capitalise on that?
And I think it's important for perhaps your fans to get behind you if you want to go for the victory. We'll have a sellout crowd, a sellout support, but last season was the worst football I've ever witnessed as a Saints fan. And hopefully it's going to be nowhere near that again this season. I think it's going to be a cagey game. I think both teams will not try to lose, but I think we may have enough to just maybe sneak it. But a point each, even Stevens, I think it'd be a fair result.
Is that what you're going for, a draw?
I think I will go for a draw, mate. Yeah, score draw, and I'll go for 1-1.
I'll also let you know Kennedy had a worldie that game. He's never been the same player ever since, just to let you know that. He's awful. He's absolutely shocking. Just touch upon one final question then, because you've touched upon there that we want stability as a club, Newcastle. We've had Rafa Benitez for a while. I think he will sign his contract, but you have changed your manager quite a lot in the last few years. Is it now time to say, right, Hassan Hüttl is the man to take us forward 4 or 5 years. This is a plan. Stick to it. Stick with one manager.
I don't think we can ever invest too long into a manager now, such as the nature of the beast, such as history suggests, after two years or so, another team starts to poach our manager, starts to poach our players. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to invest into this love affair of Ralph Hasenhüttl as long as it takes. And I don't think any of us are almost banking on him to be here longer than 3 years, but we'll love it as long as it takes.
Well, just stop feeding Liverpool players, and they're going to win the league now. It looks like they could win the league, and Southampton having a big part in it.
Well, they're not going to win the league, mate. No, I'll say it here right now. No, I don't want them to win it. And to be honest, on that note as well, I think the worst is over. on that sort of thing. They've poached so many of it. They've pillaged our squad over the last couple of years, and I don't think we've got anything left. And I think there will be bigger clubs to come calling for Ralph. But I think next season, build on pre-season, give him a full season in charge, see where we are, and I think the objective is just keep progressing, top 10 finish, see where we are this time next season.
Right, great. Freddie, thank you very much for coming on.
Great stuff. Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much. If you want to see more of the Ugly Inside, I'm on their part of their podcast program, isn't it, that you do over there? Head over. The link is in the description, and hopefully, fingers crossed, both sides get a positive result out of this, us more so than yous. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ta-ra. Bye-bye.